Hi, I'm Jewellcy.
I'm Enrica. I'm a cancer survivor.
I'm a cancer survivor.
I was diagnosed with cancer of the uterus in 2014.
I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in 2016.
When was the first time we met up?
I'm not too sure. But I do hear of you before. But
And what do you think of me last time? Loud.
loud and I feel you're like very bubbly, very cheerful kind of person that I know. And I think I heard about you it's because I heard that you had this cancer journey which I feel I see.
Yeah, so I think what really got us close was we went to convention in June, and we were so lucky to be in the RCD suite together with Francis Fuller and Faith. So that actually got us closer a little bit. But what really close was we took a flight back from Utah back to Singapore, and so we were sitting together, and we were just really sitting together.
It's just nothing happened by accident.
Yeah, and I remembered I took a picture with her and it was empty behind, and I posted in Facebook. And my lecturer Frankie commented, "Wow, you all booked the whole plane ah!" And guess what? We came from the same uni.
Not just when we know that we shared quite similar cancer journey.
Correct.
And now knowing that we taught by the same lecturer who kind of make a difference in our life.
We joke about him. Yeah, we joke about his during lectures, how he would do, the same joke, the same lame joke over and over again.
And I think that like from time to time when I spend more time with you, I get to know more about you, which I feel that we didn't really met by accident, where we find that so many other more commonalities that we had. Like for example, cancer is definitely one of it. Same lecturer, same school, under the same organisation, under One Drop and Let's Add Oil. And as we meet up more often, when we share our past journey, like our childhood days, we actually find that there's a lot of things that we do share in common.
Yeah, we are a good old days rebels. One night I was on WhatsApp. We were on WhatsApp. I remember it was 3 a.m. So suddenly just a thought that came in, and I just asked Jewellcy, do you want to do the next NYPR together? Yeah, so I went to search for the date. It's October 6th. We got 3 months. At that time, we still got 3 months to prepare. Yeah, so yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah. But what topic are we going to do? Because I told her I want to do something different, very different, something I've never done before, something that's very vulnerable. And that the two of us, we share that something in common. So I told her, shall we talk about our cancer journey? But again, that was very when we talk about compliance, all these things, it's probably not going to be approved. So I said, well, we don't even talk about diagnose stuff or treatment, but we'll talk about what lies after cancer for us, how we create that space, that vulnerability for the people who are going through the same struggles, the same challenges with us. So we started to look for theme, what should we call this LYPR? So I gave her some ideas because Journey On came back during a convention, so I said, why not we just do Journey On? I'm not very good with words. Until now, I'm not still very good with words. So I think a few weeks later, she came back and told me, hey, why not we talk about
honoring
yourself? Yeah.
I think what Enrica shared, she actually sparked me to have this idea about honoring ourselves, because we actually feel that sometimes we may not understand someone's journey fully and stuff, and we feel that with talking to someone who's been through somewhat similar journey, it kind of make us able to understand each other's journey on a deeper level compared to a person who may not or have not or will not walk through this journey kind of thing.
Because I think cancer is not just on the physical damaged, but also emotionally wise, there's a lot of struggles. Yeah, so we finally came up with this journey, honoring yourself. Yeah, so
and I think the other message that we also like to actually bring across is also like a lot of people might feel that, you know, having cancer, being sick, life cannot be as beautiful as before, or life cannot be as beautiful as like a normal healthy living person.
Correct.
But I feel that it was through this journey that actually changed how I view about life. It shifted like my priorities, my value that, hey, health is wealth. I mean, what is wealth without health?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like for me, because I lost my uterus, so I'm not able to have a family like many people out there. You know, not having to have kids. So I always find myself very imperfect. In fact, I felt that because my husband always loves children, so I felt that I'm not able to complete a family with him. But after this journey, I realized that we don't need to be that to complete a family. Yeah, so, and that is where I really listen to my inner voice, and now passionately doing things I really, really love. And I think that is all that matters. Yeah.
Cool. I can feel it. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that we had this topic today, because I think it's something that no one is willing to talk about. It's something that's very vulnerable. I mean, if you're going to flashback your cancer in 2016, I do feel a big shift in it. You know, mine is in 2014, so I do feel that shift in priorities right now.
Definitely.
It's really more for living for ourselves, and not the social norms, not listening to the social norm. I think what a lot of cancer patients actually been through is, okay, because I got cancer, so I have to stop doing this, stop doing that. You know, life don't stop after cancer. In fact, I find that life can goes on and more beautifully than ever. Yeah.
And I feel that the important message that we also want to bring across is that there's beauty in everyday life. It's not just like, oh, when things happen, then we get sunk into that negativity, but more about shifting our perspective into how can we see the beauty in that, and how can we
Acknowledge.
acknowledge, embrace it, and actually move on from there.
Correct.
Yeah. I think the first thing that came to me was like, I didn't wanted to hear like this big word C, you know, it's cancer, because for me it's since young, like for my mom's side, like my family, all these years, like cancer is a kind of like a very scary thing to me, because I lost like my grandma, my grandpa, even my uncle and my aunt to like cancer. When I think at the same year that I was diagnosed with cancer, 2 weeks later my aunt passed on because of cancer. So to me the hit was like, I never know when I will die also, and I never know like what's my life after cancer. Yeah. So to me at the point of time, it took me a while to actually settle in, sit down with what was going through me, because there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. And at the point of time, my dad was with me, and I could see from his eyes that he's very worried. I think he didn't know how to respond to it also, so he kept very quiet. And what I did was, okay, I went to further to ask my doctor what are the steps to take, what are the next step forward to actually to prevent what are treatment, and also to prevent any relapse in future also. When I was diagnosed, it was when I was turning 25. That was 2 years ago. And at that point of time, I just finished my uni, because initially when it was suspect to be cancer, my surgeon actually explored with me that sorry, cannot. Yeah, so it was initially that I seen a surgeon that he insists that next week I have to do surgery, and I was there, like, this thing was shocking to me already. It's like, it's suspicious, which is something that I do not want to hear. And he was there saying that, oh, I need to get it removed immediately, like next week kind of thing. And I feel that at the point of time I was preparing for my exam, my final exam to graduate, and when I share with him my concern, my needs, he just insists on his own way. So I felt that this is not the doctor I want to go with or put my life in his hand. So what I did was I actually shared with them that I do not want to proceed on, and I just want to see like the next result, how things turn out and everything. But thankfully is that 2 weeks later I received a call from NUH, and by this doctor, that his name is Dr. Niam, and he actually invited me, like, would I be open to actually meet him to see like what is the next step forward for me, what are some other alternatives I could explore. So for that, when I meet him, I felt that he gave me that assurance that this doctor isn't just about like removing things, but I feel that he really sat down and really listened to my concern and what is something that wouldn't also compromise my health, and also something that I will also be comfortable with. To be honest, like, there's this part of me that I was wanting to live in denial, that I feel that I was there hoping that it's not cancer. Yeah. And the intense fear, the intense of I was shocked, I don't know what to do. At that point of time, it was like the room was actually silent when he broke the news to me. The first thought was, how many years do I left? How much more time do I left? Yeah, because to me at that point of time is I just graduate from uni. It's like I just finished my exam. There's so many things that I've planned out that I want to do in life, and suddenly this thing happened, and I don't know what my life would be after that. At the point of time, I was so lost that the first thing that was in my mind that, okay, what do I need to do next?
I remembered when I first heard that I have cancer, and at that moment was really a moment for myself. Guess what? I was actually in the toilet doing my business. I know the doctor somehow I felt that it was she's a bit unprofessional by telling me over the phone, but I was in a state of shock. I was really in a state of shock, because what comes to my mind is, shit, how long do I have? And what is that? I've never heard of the word cancer. I haven't heard of cancer, but shit, it's happening to me. So I wasn't ready for all this thing, and because I was only 36, so at that time I was in a lot of shock, stress, because it's not about my own journey, but it's my family, and I was not really newly married, but it's been like 5 years, and at that time I really don't know what to expect. So the first person I called was my mom. Right, so I told my mom, I told my husband, and we went out to the hospital immediately. So we ran through all the tests. So I sat with my doctor to talk about the complications and what are the things I have to do, the treatment plans, the surgical and stuff. Yes, at that time I was still, I don't really believe it at that time, so I went for a few more consults. I seek help from another two professors, but it all came back with the same devastating truth about me having cancer. Yeah, so in fact, my mind kind of got a bit better was right after I had my full hysterectomy done, because I know after that hysterectomy I will be able to probably lead a more healthier life, because that's where all the cancer are contained. So But at the same time also, my professor tell me that due to the genetic inheritance, I probably, because I chose to keep my ovaries. Yeah, it's a time bomb. I chose to keep that because I was only like 36. Yeah, so I know I'm keeping a time bomb inside me, but that doesn't stop me from doing the things I love. In fact, every year in November, I will bring my bicycle and cycle to whatever place I feel like. So I remember in 2014, that was the year of my cancer. In 2014, me and my husband and my mother-in-law, we actually went to Thailand. So we went to Thailand and we went to this place called Ayutthaya. Yeah, it's a very, very beautiful place. So I told my husband, hey, let's cycle here one day. He said, okay. So after my cancer in 2015, we went back to Thailand again. But I didn't get to cycle because I think I was too fatigued. So my husband did a solo ride for me. He cycled all the way from Bangkok to Ayutthaya just for me. Took pictures there. So back in 2016, on the year of my cancerversary, we rode together from Bangkok all the way to Ayutthaya and back. That is something I felt. Life after cancer is not that bad. I still get to fulfill my dreams, although it's slower, but it's the thing I really want to do. And so on and so forth. 2017, we went to Taiwan to cycle. With the state of my health condition, I think I really did very well, with my husband pushing me all the way. Yeah. So I think cancer itself, we don't fight cancer, we fight our own life. Cancer is not scary, especially if it's detected early, and even if it's end stage. There's so much things you can do, not only for yourself, but to spread that message across to people who are going through the same challenges as you. So I really love this space that we have all of you here to talk about honoring ourselves. And the message is clear: be who you want to be, and life still goes on, and even better.
The first person who came up to my mind was actually a person who is my mentor, my friend, who I also see him like a father-like figure. Actually, I know him like about 10 years ago when I was in this CCA club called Our Bounders in Ngee Ann Poly. He was actually the trainer to train like a group of us about what facilitation is all about. And that was the time when I felt that it kind of changes how I see things in life. Like, I used to have this blaming conversation because of my childhood, what I've done, that I'm not good enough. There's a lot of guilt, a lot of blame that I have for myself, and how much like I was a disappointment to my parents. And to him, when he came into my life and his group of facilitator, it kind of allowed me to see things from a very different perspective, where I remember this sentence that he shared with me was, whatever decision I made at that point of time, it was the best and the right decision. Yeah, so it kind of really, like, wow, that moment is like, I don't know how to describe it, but I felt that there's new light, kind of thing that shined into my life, that, hey, I didn't thought of that. And I felt that it kind of changed like how I look upon things in life. And from there, it kind of opened up my lens towards what's all facilitation is all about, what's all this self-awareness, self-work, and also spreading that message to people who might be journeying on with similar journey, to actually share with them that it's all about how we talk to ourselves, our mindset. Yeah. And he was someone who has been with me these past 10 years, and through my cancer journey, he was actually someone who I always turn to talk to and to ask for advice in order to make like a proper informed decision about whether should I go for surgery, whether should I not go, what are the things to consider the next few years. So for him, I'm very thankful of him. And I think another person that inspired me is Dr. Niam, where I felt that because the first surgeon that I see, I felt very helpless. I feel that my message he didn't get my message. And for Dr. Niam, he really sat down, he really listened to me, he really explored like what are some other options that would be best for me. He even like invited me to consider doing like a robotic surgery instead of like from the cut of the neck, because one thing is also because of the recovery, plus my situation allowed me to do it, so why not? And he also like personally did like all this checkup before determining that, oh, this is the best ideal kind of surgery to do. And I felt that I'm most blessed and thankful to have myself placed in his more than capable hands, and he really walked my parents and I through this journey that we all felt assured. And not only that, this actually reminded me that, hey, we have a lot of medical trained doctors in this world, but what we need of is doctor who themselves is also healer, who is willing to also listen to patient and to explore what is comfortable for them. And I felt that this is actually more than a title of a doctor.
The two person that inspired me, the first was Jack and Jeanette. I'm really happy to be inside One Drop. It's not all about abundance, but it's abundance of health, love, and wealth. So in 2017, I attended a passion test by Jeanette. And that was really the time that really woke me up. It's about going after your passion. And it's not like, you're somebody that, is so sickly lah, all these things. But it's about reclaiming yourself again and going forward with what you want to do. So at that time, I remember I was just so negative about myself because I'm not a very normal person, okay? I'm not a very normal person, and I always felt very inferior. But Jack actually told me there's nothing wrong with this illness. It's how you want to move on from there. And that is when I start to know why I'm doing all this. Yeah, and the second person that inspired me is not my oncologist, but it's actually my respiratory doctor who has been taking care of me for quite a while.
He actually reminded me to serve and connect to people from the heart.
A lot of people think that doctors is all out there to make your money, but he is one doctor who is so down to earth. During 2017, I think between July to September, I was battling with very bad respiratory, so I was in and out of hospital all the time. And given all the drugs and stuff he gave me, but I was still feeling so sick. It was really, really sick. So he came to me. In fact, he came to me and he realized it's not just my lungs that is having issues, but it's my heart that is having issues. So he connected to me and he made me realize that I'm actually going through a lot of depression right now due to my family issues and all these things. So he also reminded me that there's a lot of things that is not within our control. Why not walk out of it, acknowledge the root of the issue, and you'll be able to be who you are again. Yeah, so I'm really, really thankful Dr. Lee that he has really, really been, what word should I use? The feeling he gave me is, hey, I'm not here just to prescribe you with medicine, but your overall wellness, as in physical and emotion, it does play a very, very huge part in wellness. So that is when I started to do a lot of reflection on myself, and guess what? It's been a year already. These 3 people that has really enlightened me that I should live for myself rather than others. My major takeaway from this, after losing my womb, you still can have the feminine side. Besides that, how you can help others along the way, sharing your journey. Because I feel that if you're going to Google life after cancer, life after uterus, life after whatever, there's not much of a sharing. And if it is, it's all from the doctors. But I feel that coming from the cancer survivor point of view, you can make things just as simple as it can be. Yeah, I mean, it's not about getting self-pity or what, because I feel that self-pity, we will never grow out of it, because we keep wanting that attention, that love from people and others. So in fact, I felt that after cancer, I became so much stronger in terms of physical and emotionally, and I can really connect to a lot of people. I think it's because of the challenges we went through, you know, the cracks and holes.
Likes and cracks.
Yeah, likes and cracks, yeah. Likes and cracks, you know, all these things. So, and always be that angel there to lift others up. Yeah, I think that's very, very important, because life is no longer about ourselves, you know, it's about really touching people and doing it together with them. Yeah. How about you?
I guess for me, I feel that every journey of our life have a story to tell, and I agree with what you shared, that there's so many learning that we took out from it. But for me, I think the main thing was like living a life without a thyroid. I feel that less is actually more. Like for myself, I began to know what is important to me: health, friends, and family. And I felt that now that we have this gift of life, what are we going to do to our life? So right now, like both of us, we are also journey on with Young Living, finding all ways to better take care of ourselves, our lifestyle, our emotion, our diet. And I felt that this transformation isn't just about health, but I felt that it was up to a better us to ride through life challenges.
Yeah, it's not like what we always say. Young Living is not just about oils. It's about really connecting to people, understand their needs, and going through their journey together. It's not a touch and go, but I think it's really connecting to them and paying forward.
Yeah,
bring the legacy on.
True. And I think it's about like at the point of time when no matter what that I learned from this journey, in interaction with my surgeon and everything, I felt that we all have a choice in life.
We
have
live
a
by
choice.
choice. We live by choice.
Choice to make a decision to go with what is comfortable for us.
Yeah.
And how do we want to live our life?
There's also some patients that they are not willing to stand out, which I hope the conversation we have today, we can actually broaden their perspective and bring them the new light.
And I felt that this theme, honouring ourselves, is something that really sit well with us, and I felt that it's more about channeling or spreading that hope to people. Yeah. So no matter, be it cancer or any journey upon your life, any setbacks, I feel there's beauty, there's hope in all of this.
Correct.
Yeah.
As long as you honour yourself.
And love yourself.
Yeah, self-love, self-care is really, really important. I remember when I was still back in 2013, 2014, I was struggling a lot every day, and I thought that is called fulfillment. I was struggling my uni, I was struggling my full-time job, and I was still baking cakes after my classes. So I barely sleep. I sleep like 2-3 hours a day, and the next day it continues. But truth be told, I find no joy. It's just a motion that I'm going through. But right after I left my full-time job and I'm doing things I really love, it really, really taught me that relief by choice. Relief by choice. It's not about getting your good fat paycheck every month so that you can prove it to your relative. No, relief by choice. And I'm glad that I'm doing it and I'm happy. Yeah.
I think the message to sum up this is, no matter what, it's to honor yourself, to love yourself, and
To be happy. in
happy
life.
inside out.
Yeah, happy inside out.
And I feel that the main thing, one of the values that stood by me is being grateful for whatever that happens.
Right, yes.
And the people around us who really support us. Why we decided to do this event is really not about the cancer, because we feel that cancer is already a past. It's more about how we live our life from now on and what's after cancer.
And how we can help and connect to more people who are going through these challenges right now.